Hey guys, we've got a show day today, and Andrew's following me around just to get a glimpse of what goes on through the day for us as we go about our thing. And because it's a show day, it's actually a pretty open day. I don't usually book appointments on a show day because I never know how it's going to go. Even though we're getting down to the studio at about 9 a.m., there's rehearsal, then there's the actual shoot. It could go quickly. We could be out of there by 11. We could be out of there by 1. Who knows? Nevertheless, I've got one appointment booked kind of flexibly right after. I'm going to go to that. It's a property line dispute that I've got to figure out, so that'll be interesting. I got to go with a good state of mind, patient, and go and talk to a neighbor about a property line dispute for a client. After that, heading back to the office, got a few things to deal with, and then going to another site to confirm some site measures before we get going on a project. It's a big addition. So here I am saying I got nothing booked, but I got some stuff booked. So anyways, that's later on in the day, and that's how it's going to go. And it's on my office manager's birthday today, so we want to make sure we get back to the office to celebrate her birthday at 4 p.m. I've asked Brianna, who's in the back seat, to get everybody in the office in there by 4 p.m. so we can celebrate Sammy's birthday. Traffic is clear. This is one of my biggest headaches getting into the city, dealing with traffic. Toronto traffic never changes. It's always hit and miss. Some days I get down there in like 45 minutes. Some days it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So here we go. We're going to get down to the studio. Hopefully we can shoot in there and you'll get a glimpse of what goes on in there as well. And you'll get to see the action behind the scenes. So we'll pick you up when we get down to the studio. Okay guys, we're in the green room, and this room actually I redid, gosh, how long ago, Brianna? Like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
So there was a challenge to redo 2 green rooms, and Amanda did the other one, and I did this one. So we did something really cool. You can see the big thing in here is this forest kind of motif here in the background, and then we did this LED neon looking kind of sign for green room. So the whole idea was to make a green room where people would come in here and it'd be so kind of over the top. They'd want to take pictures, post it on social media. We've got these animal ottomans, which yesterday I was in here and these were a big hit with one of the guests that were in here. So this is where we hang out, and we've got Simon and Alexis here. Simon's a real estate agent. He's going to be on the show as well, so we just kind of chill out. Sometimes we meet for the first time in here, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. We hang out here. There's a monitor, so we see what everybody's doing in the studio. And then when it's time to go, we go. We go do a rehearsal, do everything, run through it, and then come back here. And then when the show starts, Marilyn's in there, we go do the magic. That was quick, not quick enough. This year, actually, there's 7 segments to the show, so everything is tighter. So I've got to tighten things up, get right to the point, get with it, and get through it. But apparently, the edit turned out really well, so it'll be good to see that.
Wow. I love that house. I can't believe you found space under the garage.
I know. That was
I
rare.
would have put a fitness room in there. Because I would never see my husband again. But I know it's done. It's stunning. It's stunning.
That was instant 400 square. Instant.
Because you found that room because it would be.
All set. Okay, I should say goodbye to everybody. All right, that was easy. That was actually a great segment, before and afters. And that was fun. I love those. I love being on the show with Marilyn. Let me just say goodbye to everybody and we'll go. Okay, we're back on the road, and that was a great show. It's so easy to do that one. When there's no set to set up, when there's no vignette to do, and it's just a matter of going in and chatting, I love it. It's so easy. The problem is I often have too much to say, and I just can't get it out on the show because we only have like a 3-minute chat. And then by the time we joke around with Marilyn, I get distracted, and then none of the information comes out. And God, I love her. She's so much fun. She's so good at what she does. But the information's got to get out there. And really, what I didn't get to talk about was the importance of creating floor plans and proper drawings for any renovation, let alone a basement one. So when we prepare a set of drawings, we have actually a process. And we don't compromise that process for anybody, for any job. We go through a design phase, we design the project, we figure out the floor plan, the traffic flow, the details inside as far as the architecture of the space goes, and then all the details in the way of finishing. So on our drawings, we dictate all the details of millwork, cabinetry, trim work, how the floor is laid out, what the materials are, what the finishes are. Everything right down to the paint colors is on the drawings. And then when we have that full set of drawings based on our consultation with the clients on what they want, how they're going to live and how they're going to use that space, we then have the blueprint for the job. We have the roadmap of how to get to the finish line. And then when we price the job, we know exactly what we're doing and what it's going to cost. It minimizes the possibility for extras and cost overruns. You hear all these horror stories and nightmares with construction and renovations, and I had no idea, and I was double my budget, and the contractor kept coming to me and asked me for money. It's because there's no plan, and everybody's just going at it randomly, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So to avoid that, we have a process. We don't deviate from it, and we make sure that those plans are detailed. And then when we price things, the job is basically, here's what we're going to produce, here's what it's going to cost, and not a penny more. Unless you, the client, specifically change your mind on something, or you add something. Meaning, if tomorrow you decide, you know what, I want a steam bath in my bathroom now, then we look at that and we go, okay, a steam bath is an extra so many dollars, and they sign off on it, and they go, okay, and they keep all that paperwork, so they always know where they stand with regards to what they're spending. That's the way to go about it. And for the life of me, I can't understand how people deviate from that, and they just get into this relationship with a contractor, hand over money without a plan, without a contract, and then get caught up in this rat race of, I need more money, and if you don't pay me, I'm not coming back. And that's exactly what happens, because there's just too many unscrupulous people in this industry. It's not regulated, and too many people get caught up in it. So that's kind of what I wanted to say on air, but 3 minutes is just not enough to say that and have the entertainment and the banter back and forth. So nevertheless, there it is. That's really important on any project, let alone a basement project. We're headed to this next job site to deal with that property line issue, so I'm going to head over there and deal with that when we get there. Okay, so I got the line marked out, and here's the thing, gotta have a survey. The survey basically lays out where your property ends, where the neighbor's property starts, and I've marked it based on the back corner of the house, front corner of the house carried through straight to the front, and as we come here, we can see that it's right there. So what we want to do is do something here to pretty this edge up. Now, whether it's putting some trees or putting some armor stone or whatever to define this and hold this grade, because that area there is getting degraded, and it's going to slowly start affecting this grade here. It's going to start washing out. So being proactive here, we want to make sure that we're not encroaching on the neighbor's property. We're not doing stuff over there, but we're doing things properly on this property to retain the integrity of this higher elevation here. Back to this, so important to have a survey. So make sure you have a survey on hand. Make sure when you put fences in and all those things, they're done properly, because once it's in place, it becomes a huge headache down the road if it's done wrong. Okay, I'm sweating from that conversation. That was a long conversation. Language barrier, number one, that was a challenge. Then, number two, there was already some animosity, so the only way about it was to be diplomatic and diffuse the situation as best as I could, and I did. And I feel good with where we ended up. The gentleman had his daughter translating, and she was a sweet girl. And the end result was that it's all diffused. There's no problem, no issue. We want to just clean things up and respect his property and not trespass on his property. And I think once he kind of understood that, he got into a good place. And he asked where I'm from, and I told him I was born in Iran, and then a big smile came on his face, and I don't know why he's fond of Iran. And so that made things even better. So I ended it with a smile and a handshake and a great understanding moving forward. So that's great. I'm thrilled with that. Okay, here we are on our project in Ancaster. This is an addition, and what we're doing is we're taking this existing garage and and we're pulling it out this way. That's going to allow us to expand the kitchen inside. We want a bigger garage, we want a larger kitchen area. And these are the plans. Now, these were prepared by a junior architect, and they're fine. They're just missing a bit of information. So we have some calculations and some dimensions that don't make sense to us. So Matt and I are here. We're going to verify some of these numbers, make sure the walls are where they're supposed to be. The permit's been issued, and I'm actually surprised because there's some information missing. But anyways, nonetheless, we want to dot our I's and cross our T's. We want to make sure that everything's going to work out the way we want. We would like to make the garage another 2 feet deeper. So what we'll do is go back to the building department, make sure that that's going to be okay, and then we're ready to go. Okay, we're good. All the measurements check out. I think we're going to add another 2 to 3 feet to the depth of the garage. That'll work out well. And then the only other question is, do we start it this fall or do we wait till next spring? I prefer to plan more, detail these drawings, get all this information together. And the other thing that drives this really is availability of materials. Can we get our appliances in time? Can we get cabinetry in time? Especially with the market the way it is and Christmas coming around the corner, it might make more sense to take the time in planning and then start the renovations early on in the new year. Anyways, that's to be determined. We're going to go and ask the building department if we can have that additional 2 feet and what we have to do to get it. And that's it. Back to the office to do some more work and then go from there. All right, another small little thing that came up today. This is another project that we've got coming up. It is an amazing main floor reno, and the kitchen in here is going to be spectacular. But what has happened is they delivered the appliances now as opposed to December. Everybody was in a tizzy, but I am thrilled, and I'll tell you why. Because Darcy at Miele, I had a talk with her. She knew about this order. She knew about this renovation, and I kind of ran a few things by her. Anyways, long story short, she knew that there was going to be a shortage on this oven and the 2 cooktops I have. She pulled them and shipped them here so nobody else would grab them, and we would have it when we need it. The rest of the order is no problem. It's coming in December. We're not even starting this job for a while. So homeowners called me. They said, listen, there's stuff in our garage. We need the space. No problem, we'll come and take it. We'll take it to the shop, we'll store it there, but at least I've got them. And this is the wonderful thing about having great relationships with brands like Miele. They got your back, and that's important, especially today when there's such challenges with supply chains. So now I've got the comfort of knowing that we got our oven, we got our cooktops. The rest of the stuff is scheduled to be delivered when we need it, but we can go ahead with our renovations and not get caught. All right, let's load these up and we'll go from there. Matt, you want to give me a hand? We'll let the young guys do the hard work. All right, so a nice combi steam oven, 2 induction cooktops, that's what's going in here. And again, you'll see it when it comes together. So now, back to the office. Perfect. Okay, it wasn't the last stop. This is the last stop before going to the office. Got to pick up some stuff for the guys. Hayfella, right there, is one of the companies we deal with. And we're picking up some channels and some lighting materials for some under cabinet lighting. Now, we love their lighting. It's called the Lux 5 lighting LED system. I love the system. Anyways, this is where we get that from. And what's interesting is that we are actually designing and building out their corporate offices. We're currently working on all the interior design package for the front and getting that ready, and probably in the new year ripping everything out and redoing it. Now that Matt's got that in the back of the truck, we're gonna head back to the office. Well, guys, that was somewhat of a difficult day today. I'm glad I took you along. And today was a bit different because obviously we had the show in the morning, and that changes the dynamics of the entire day. But what's interesting to note is that my days are random, all over the place. And people always ask me, what's it like running your own business? What's it like doing what you do? Well, this is what it is. It's all over the place. And that's what I love about it. Some days are packed with work in the office. Some days are with clients. Some days are on site. Some days are with the show. Some days are actually shooting with Andrew. And they're all different. And you know what? One of the days coming up, I'm going to be visiting all the job sites, because I know one of the condos we're doing down in downtown Oakville is being framed right now. I got to go in, check all the framing, see how it's all coming together. That'll be interesting to walk through that, and a few of the projects. We've got a bathroom that is being done in Forest Hill. That'll be interesting to go and see. So maybe we'll hit those two in one day. I'm going to take you along on those as well. So for now, we'll sign off, but stay tuned, because I'm going to take you along on some other days when we go and inspect these things, and you'll see a little bit more about what we do.